Welcome to Santa Cruz. Our coastline has been shaped by time, storms, and people. This is Steamer Lane, one of the most iconic surf breaks in the country. Here is the local surf museum inside the lighthouse, looking over Steamer Lane. For generations, the Pacific Ocean provided food, waves, and a way of life. While Santa Cruz enjoys the beach, surf, and the views, it has faced coastal challenges through its entire history. This is an extremely dynamic environment that also brings violent storms, coastal erosion, and flooding. In 1955, a combination of heavy rain, high tides, and overflowing rivers flooded over 400 acres, including downtown. That was one of the worst floods in our city's history. But hey, coastal change looks very different when you spend your life in the water. All right, let me introduce myself. I'm Otter 841. Local legend, occasional surfboard pirate, and currently moonlighting as your narrator. You might have heard of me. I'm the sea otter who made headlines for climbing onto surfboards near Steamer Lane and causing some trouble in the lineup. The truth is, I like to keep an eye on things. Otters have lived along this coast for thousands of years. We've watched the land and coast transform, especially with all the changes humans have made over time. Today, I'm here to show you how living shorelines and nature-based approaches can help protect our coastline with the intentional use of natural features like beaches, dunes, marshes, and reefs. Let's get started. Here we are at Main Beach, my favorite swimming spot. I can hear my friend Sandy, the Sanderling. While she breeds in the high Arctic, she spends a lot of time here in Santa Cruz. But the beach is vulnerable to flooding, erosion, and storms. Oh no, the water's rising. With climate change, extreme storms like this will become even more intense and more frequent. If we don't do anything, eventually the whole beach will disappear. Pretty wild, huh? Let's take a look at how we can help protect it before we get too wet. Let's take a look at some examples around Santa Cruz of how nature-based solutions can help protect us. Here's a 3D model of its beach. We've got some pretty clever options to protect the coast from erosion. Here on the west side of its beach, there's a plan to improve the stormwater runoff from the bluff. By adding features like seasonal ponds to slow down and soak up stormwater, as well as provide critical habitat for wildlife. And improving outfalls, along with step pools that help prevent coastal erosion and clean the runoff as it flows down. Native plants will also be planted to naturally filter the water before it reaches the ocean. That's great news for me, because cleaner water means fewer diseases that can make me and my friends sick. And by adding tide pools and more sheltered spots for intertidal creatures, like black abalone, one of my favorite foods. So it's safer for the shore and a cozy hangout for little sea critters. Let's zoom in a bit more. Here we are at West Cliff Drive. This section of the road was badly impacted during recent storms. And what about moving the road inland? Check out the before and after of this upcoming adaptation option. Smart move, right? It gives the ocean more space to naturally reshape the shoreline, mimicking one of the main ways that beaches elsewhere maintain themselves. Stormwater can still find its way down to the sea. And who knows, maybe one day the pocket beach will make a comeback. Now let's keep heading west towards Woodrow Avenue. This spot has been especially vulnerable to erosion, when waves and storms slowly wear away the bluff and beach, threatening habitats, roads, and homes. At this location, we could consider testing a mini reef sometime in the future to fill this gap in the rocks and reflect waves away from the coast. Rocky reefs not only help absorb some of the energy from waves, but they also provide a place for kelp and other species to take hold over time. Others in California are already exploring reefs as a way to address the challenges of sea level rise. Mitchell's Cove is one of my favorite spots to hang out. Erosion here is a real problem. Those waves keep carving away at the bluff, inch by inch, and sometimes in big bites like what happened in the winter of 2023. Look at all these loose boulders that have become unstacked from the riprap. These can be a problem for shorebirds and my human friends who enjoy what's left of our sandy beaches. Restacking the riprap could give us a great opportunity to add step pools and tide pool blocks into the design. We're lucky that we have a really healthy kelp forest here at the moment, much healthier than in many other parts of California. This is where I like to nap and grab a snack. My sea lion buddies love to play here. Hi guys! Sea level rise could one day make reefs too deep for kelp, and we may need to build artificial reefs to keep this underwater forest alive. Let's head back east to Main Beach and take a look at it from the air. Whoa, look at this view! From up here, you can see the whole town. The neighborhood just behind the boardwalk is called Beach Flats, a low-lying area vulnerable to flooding. Now, let's take a look at how sea level rise would impact this area. King tides, the highest tides of the year, almost flooded the entire beach in 2019. With 2.4 feet of sea level rise during an extreme storm, the beach, boardwalk, and much of the beach flats neighborhood are flooded. A big reason this happens is that storms and rising seas erode the beach, making it less able to prevent overtopping into nearby neighborhoods. Let's take a look at a great plan to protect this area using dunes. One option to reduce impacts would be to build wide dunes with native plants, burying cobble and large pieces of driftwood underneath the dunes for strength. A coastal path can be maintained so people can still enjoy the view. In nature, driftwood and dunes work together to shield inland areas and provide vital habitat for birds. Strong, green, and still fun. That's the idea. Hey, let's get down there to see how the dunes hold up to flooding this time. Wow, see the new dunes? They protect homes and the boardwalk, give wildlife a place to thrive, and help keep the beach strong before the next big storm. Nature's pretty amazing when we give it a chance to do its thing. We've seen how powerful nature-based solutions can be. Now it's time to keep that momentum going. There's still a lot of work ahead, and your voice matters. Thank you for joining us today. To stay in the loop on future plans, just scan the QR code to sign up for the City Manager's newsletter. You'll get updates on projects and find new ways to get involved, like upcoming community meetings. Thanks for exploring the living shorelines of Santa Cruz with me. I'll be out there, keeping watch. See you in the waves!